Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about something that I think is the foundation of my health beliefs, and that is bio-individuality. Do you ever wonder why we're so confused over which foods are good, which foods are bad, and there's so many contradicting facts about which diets are good for you and which diets aren't so good for you, and there's so many different kinds out there. Bio-individuality plays a huge role in this, so let's get into it. Bio-individuality is kind of a centralized concept around the idea of not one diet fits every body. There's a phrase that is, one person's food is another person's poison. Personal differences such as anatomy, genetics, body composition, metabolism, and even your cell structure are all things that influence your overall health. And a lot of people's dietary needs are actually linked to their gut health. There are a lot of controversial foods out there, such as gluten, soy, dairy, sugar, and even things that we eat every day, such as our proteins, carbs, and fats. There's a reason all these foods are so controversial, and it's because of bio-individuality. Just because one food or food group might work for one person, it might not work for another. A lot of people choose to eliminate certain things like maybe gluten or even dairy from their diet. And a lot of times it's not because they have necessarily an allergy to them, but it's because they don't feel good when they eat it. That's what bio-individuality is. It's when one food works really well for one person, but not so well for another person. The thing about bio-individuality is not one person can tell you a diet that's going to work for every single person in your family or every single one of your friends. So there's a lot of trial and error that you're going to have to do. I know a lot of people are just wanting a straightforward answer, but unfortunately that's not how our bodies work, and that's not how nutrition works. While there are overarching things of wanting to incorporate lots of fruits and veggies into your diet because this is good for all of us, maybe there's some fruits or there's some vegetables that might not be good for you that are really good for me, or vice versa. One food group I know that has a lot of controversy is dairy. Now, a lot of times when people eliminate dairy, it's because either they are allergic or intolerant to it, such as lactose intolerant, or they are starting to see changes in their bodies, such as maybe more hormonal acne, or they're starting to bloat a lot more. A lot of times if you're experiencing a lot of breakouts around your chin and kind of the hormonal spots, you may want to try eliminating dairy from your diet. However, for some people, dairy is a great way for them to get their vitamin D and their protein into their diet. Another food group that can be really inflammatory for some is soy. Now, maybe if you're a vegan or a vegetarian, soy might not affect you as much because that's going to be one of your main sources of protein that you could eat. However, for some of us, soy can be really inflammatory on the face or the skin or even in our digestive system. Another food I get a lot of questions about is gluten. Gluten is a food that can be super harmful to some, as they might have celiac disease or maybe they also have an intolerance to it. But for some, good quality wheat and bread products is going to be something that's really beneficial to them. I've had some friends that have gone over into Europe to places like Italy, and they think that when they get there, they're just going to gain all of this weight from eating all the pasta and the pizza and the bread and all of these carbs that they think might be bad for them. However, the food over there is much less processed and has much less ingredients than ours does over here. So maybe all that's in their bread is going to be water, salt, and wheat. However, over here, we have tons of different ingredients. If you've ever tried to read the back of a label of any type of bread product, you see a ton of different ingredients that you might not even know what they are. So this is why I say if you are eating wheat and gluten, to really look at the label to see what you can find that has minimal ingredients and is of really good quality. The other kind of food or food groups that get a lot of bad rep are different portion sizes of our carbs, fats, and proteins. So these are going to be our macronutrients. This is what makes up all the different food that we eat. Now, maybe you're familiar with tracking apps such as MyFitnessPal, and it has a breakdown of your percentage or your grams of each of these for the day. Now, this is going to be different for every single person and for every single person's different goals. Tracking your macronutrients can be super beneficial, but can also be kind of triggering to some. So if you're wanting to experiment with different macros, just proceed with caution and really check in with yourself and if it's becoming an unhealthy relationship for you. Along the lines of bio-individuality is the word diet. Now, a lot of people, when they hear the word diet, think of really restrictive foods, or maybe you're on a certain program. But diet really just means what you eat. So you could be on a diet and it really is just your everyday life. I know the diet culture can be really confusing, so why not just change the way we think about it and truly just take it for what it is, and that is what you eat. While this may seem like common sense to some, I truly think that for us to be able to live our best selves, we really have to understand bio-individuality, and that what may work for one person is not necessarily going to work for the other. I hope you learned a lot today, and I can't wait to see you next time. Bye!